Hi, my name is Karen Carl, and I'm doing my video artifact assignment 27, which is supporting a student with deaf blindness, and these are intervener strategies. I'm here with coworker. Hi.
Hi.
And I'm going to be going over the basic intervener strategies that are in this module. So one of the first ones that we talked a lot about these things, similar things before, as it is when we're working with our paraprofessionals. So one of the first strategies is to do with, not for. So they're really encouraging using hand underhand, which is another one of the strategies. So if I'm not taking your hand, I am putting my hand under yours and showing you what I want you to do. So I'm showing her, that if the student is having difficulty staying on your hand, which they will initially, you can hold on to them with one finger so that they kind of will sort of stay with you. The other thing that they've talked about with hand underhand strategies is to start with games.
Okay.
So it's something fun, and you don't have an educational expectation that they have to do this. I think one of the hard things, as I was talking to some other therapists with another team, OTs, is they want them to actually physically manipulate the objects. That's kind of what they're doing. But when our students don't know how to do that, they're constantly, hands are being manipulated. So having your hand under theirs to show so that they have more control over it. So I've also kind of talked to the team about kind of have to change your mindset and between he has to do it to we're going to let him learn from us.
Okay.
And not be insisting on having him do it constantly. Being a bridge, not a barrier, is kind of having them. It's kind of like when we've talked about the paras, their peers don't want to talk to the kids because the para's right next to them.
Right.
Okay, so it's kind of that same concept, the bridge, not a barrier. It is you want to be able to help them interact with other people, but not keep them because you're there, other people won't interact with the kid.
Right.
So that's that concept. The other hand is hand under hand, which we kind of talked about already. The other one was take your time, so pace. So to set a pace for going through a task, interaction, or event that matches the student's ability to follow what's happening. So we know some of our kids process a lot slower.
Right.
And sometimes we're kind of like, come on, let's go. So finding that natural pace at which they're still engaged, they haven't checked out on us, but we're not constantly talking over them when they're still trying to think about what you've asked them to do. So then processing is that giving the student time to adjust and take in new information. So some kids do take longer to process the information. So like the little boy we were talking about yesterday, his mom said he does take longer to process the information. Right. She does have to do more repetitions for him to learn things. And then also wait until the student is ready to continue. So if the student is still exploring, like my one at elementary kiddo, he wants to actually explore stuff. And they're like, come on, let's, they're taking it from him and, moving on, where they're not giving him, not waiting for him to be like, okay, now, what do you want me to do with this kind of thing? Right. Okay. And so these are all really important for deafblind. And mostly the kids in our district are, as you know, they have some hearing and some sight, so they're able to use it still.
Right.
And I think what will be interesting is when we have a kid who is severely vision and hearing impaired and how we do that. So I think that a lot of the things that I've learned from this class with the intervener strategies and training an intervener will all be, really important in helping them not be that barrier.
Okay.
Like we've talked a lot about our paras often are too much.
Yes.
They think they need to do everything for the kids, and the kids think the parent needs to do everything for them, and then it's all that learned helplessness, and so we want to avoid that, obviously, and help our kids be successful. So that's kind of a short synopsis of this module. Thank you.